Hello, everyone. Hi. Thanks, Loic and Geraldine, for organizing the web. I've just watched the web through my netbook at home. It looked like it was very impressive. So today, I'd like to talk about my new company, Jolicloud, and I'd like to share with you some thoughts about how we're going to build this company. So the whole idea of Jolicloud started 2 years ago. I was in Tokyo, in a subway, and there was this school kid working with a very small laptop with a little connection. She was playing, she was doing something, I don't really know what she was doing, but I saw someone on the other side of the station having the same computer, and apparently they were playing together with the same computer. And this idea obsessed me because I always was interested in computers, and I was always interested in how we can make very generic computers. Let me see if this thing works. No. So if you remember, 30 years ago, when I started, the whole thing was about the Apple II, and basically, this time, the internet was not existing. And I was wondering, what happened with computers since then? Better operating system, connectivity, modem. If you remember, at the time, modem were optional. But the interesting thing, what would happen if someone like Steve Jobs and Wozniak today were trying to build a new computer? The first thing would be that the computer would be always on. Obviously, when we have an iPhone, when we have a Kindle, these things already have connectivity. It's kind of weird that today the computers that we have don't have this connectivity. The second thing is that the cloud is here, is everywhere, and there's an opportunity to actually use the cloud to store data, to connect the computer. There's a bunch of new services that can be done. And the last thing is that probably computers would be free today. Because if you go in a shop and buy a netbook, basically, you have operators, but probably cloud services that would cover the cost. It would be easy to produce free computers. So the interesting thing about netbooks is that it's kickstarting this disruption. Basically, netbooks are changing the way we look at computers. Just give you an example. 3 days ago, I was in a retailer, and there was this old woman. She was looking for 2 netbooks. One was 300 euros. The other one was like 330 euros. And she said to her husband, I think I'm going to take the 300 euros because 330 is too expensive. Today, 330 euros is too expensive for a computer. Can you believe that? The opportunity is that next year, there will be 50 million netbooks, 50 million machines that cost less than 500 euros that people bought as a second computer, sometimes because they don't have the money to buy a bunch of things, and they just came out with a netbook. The interesting idea we had, and I come back to the Tokyo stories, what would happen if all these netbooks were connected through a social operating system? What if we move and migrate all these netbooks into a new disrupting operating system? This is exactly the reason why we created Jolicloud. We believe that these machines change everything, and they need another operating system. And before getting to Jolicloud, I'd like to share a few things with you. The values. Every time we start a company, I think there's a set of things that you have to do. And we decided that these are the things we will have with Jolicloud. The first thing is choice. Whatever the future is, whatever the technology is, people should have choice. Choice of browser, choice of cloud services, choice of everything. The second thing that is interesting is the cloud neutrality. What I love with netbooks is that if I have a $200 netbook and I have a $2,000 computer, basically my interaction in the cloud is the same. And we need to preserve that. The third thing, of course, is to protect user privacy. Open source. I believe that open source is the only model now for software. Free. And there's another thing that is very important to us, and people who know me from NetVibes know that I really care about that, is it's not because you buy a cheap computer that you should have a crappy interface. We want to make sure with Jolicloud to bring the most advanced, nicest interface in the cheapest computer in the world. So what I'd like to do is to share with you how do we build an operating system from the ground up, because basically it's, OK, you want to start a new operating system, you want to try to get in this market, how do you do that? And I'd like to share a few things with you about it. The first thing we did was basically to test and grow with the community. That's something I learned with my previous startup that is absolutely amazing, is that you believe you own the roadmap. But the truth is that the social web owned the roadmap. We decided very early to put the support and all the feedback on Twitter, Facebook, get satisfaction. And we end up having the user say, you should do that, you should do this, you should do it like that. And the only thing we had to do is to respond to them and make sure that we go as quick as possible to follow their lead. So we launched this private alpha. Like every project, we bootstrap. We just started to do a prototype. We put it online. And we were quite amazed by the response. At first, we thought maybe a couple of thousand people would just get an invitation. Actually, we had to send 80,000 invitations. This was just amazing. Here are some feedback from the users. It's one of the most amazing things when you do a company is to get the feedback from the first user. This person, Jen, she's an artist, a music artist in New York. She just fell in love with Jolicloud. A friend of her installed it on a netbook, and she used it like all the time. Clay Shirky, that a bunch of people know here, had also a love story with Jolicloud. He's tried a lot of operating systems, and he tried it and just loved it. Tim Barker, that is a senior director for Salesforce in Europe, told us Jolicloud is the ultimate no-software operating system. The second thing after the social is to be relevant. When you're small, when you grow, we don't have the ability, of course, to have $100 million budget. That is averagely what you need when you want to go in such market. So the way we did it was to make sure that we have something better, faster than the rest. So a netbook is about doing more for less. Most of the people who bought netbooks said, this is a piece of crap. I can't do anything with it. I just use the web. And we have optimized the service to let people use HD support, 3G. It's unbelievable. It's easier to use now a 3G on a netbook with Jolicloud than using on a Mac. You just plug the key, it works. And the boot. Of course, what is amazing with the new generation of OS is that they can boot faster, way faster than traditional. The other thing is support. When we started, we bought, I think, 5 netbooks, and that's it. We made sure that Jolicloud would work with it. Then, of course, we needed to make sure that Jolicloud works with every netbook. If you remember what I said before about the values, it's if we do this, it has to work everywhere in the world and on every machine. You have to be able to go in a shop, buy a netbook, and install Jolicloud. So we created this huge collaboration with our community to do a live testing using mostly Twitter and get satisfaction, and we managed to have now 98% of the market. So 98% of the netbooks today that you can buy anywhere in the world can run Jolicloud. The last thing is making the installation sexy. As you know, when you have to go on the market with such a product, you have to control the distribution. And the only way to do so for us is not to go through the OEMs, because we're such a small company. It's really to go with the direct-to-consumer. Think about it. Installing Jolicloud will be as easy as installing Firefox. This is the reason why we have created, and we're announcing today, it's available on jolicloud.com, a Windows installer. You get your netbook with Windows, download the program, click Install, and you're going to be on Jolicloud. Super easy. Last thing, and I'm going to go very quick because I know I'm running out of time, is when you have the opportunity, and I think this is true for any entrepreneur, to go in a market, you have to promote your own ideas. We have a vision of what an operating system should be for people. We believe that cloud storage should be by default. So anytime you will have a Jolicloud netbook you will be able to install Dropbox by default. We're actually just announcing with Dropbox that Dropbox will be set up on every Jolicloud machine. You can be able to share your content of your netbook with the rest of your computers. The other thing is the HTML5. We have redesigned all the UI of Jolicloud, and this is the first time, by the way, that we show that, in HTML. It means that every developer on the planet will be able to interact with the UI in HTML. No more Java, no more Objective-C, no more complexity. Everyone. And we're very happy to work with Mozilla. They've been instrumental in helping us moving forward, implementing HTML5, offline, and all these things. Tristan, just put a quote here, has been helping us a lot, and all the team at Mozilla, I really thank them for their support. Activity stream. We live in the world of Twitter where we integrate all this content, and we believe that the computer should integrate exactly the same way. The interaction with the computer should be exactly like Twitter. You just push files, do it exactly like you would do it on Twitter or Sysmic. Just before leaving, I have one of the features that we believe is going to be really cool, is that every time we buy a netbook, I bought actually 10 of them. When I don't use it, why don't I give it to someone? So we created this recycle features that let anyone basically recycle the computer, wipe out all the data, and give it to a friend. And if you have no friend to give it, we will connect you with NGOs that needs computers for people. And it's going to be just one click. So the idea of recycling is something that we really care about. So as Loic mentioned, the pre-beta is available today. You can go on jolicloud.com, download the software. There's a bunch of things that we announced today that are available today. And if you are interested in this project, join us, and let's build together the coolest OS for browser. Thank you very much. I know I've been a bit late.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for having me here.
You're fine. Bravo! Oh. You're very tall today.
Yes.
Very good. Good luck.